What is up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. In this one, we are going to be doing a few of everything. As you guys can see, we have a lot of mess. I'll show you guys a couple things we've been doing behind the scenes that I haven't recorded. You know when you're building something and you get like really excited about it, or you're in awe that you just kind of like stop recording, or you just don't think about anything else but what's going on? One of many. We attempted to do some aluminum TIG welding. Unfortunately, we didn't get the proper material. I thought this was aluminum. After better inspection, it is not. I'm not sure what this is, but it's not aluminum. That happened here last night. Well, yesterday night. Then we got the Supra out just so we can do some cleaning. It was on jack stands and we got some spills, but that's not a big deal. Over here, under the BRZ, we have a water pump. Well, apparently, Big Red over there, she decided for her water pump to just be out. So, out of emergency, I had to replace it. Over here we got the fuel tank for the white 86. I'll drop some clips. I recorded a little bit of that. It was the worst, the absolute worst inside this fuel tank. And now, I don't even know if you can tell, but it's not that bad anymore. It's not rusty. It's more of a dirt. Can you see? It's got some rust. It's mostly dirt, and it should clean up decently. I also, so for some of you guys that know, I like my animals. I like my dogs and my cows. I have cows, and so we were busy building a little shed or putting it together. We're not 100% done, but if you guys can see back there, we started it. Velma looks like she's dead, but she's okay. Chunky boy's back there that I let roam every once in a while, and back there is their house. So yeah, we're in the middle of that, and I was also in the middle of finishing up my patio that I never got to finish. You guys can tell part of it is painted, part of it is not. We ran out of paint last night as well. Get this place cleaned up so we can finally get some work done. When you have a mess everywhere, you just can't focus, so we're gonna do that real quick. Finally got the place cleaned up. It took a minute, not exactly perfect, but we should be changing the flooring soon, I think. I'm gonna be first closing up the whole shop again, so you guys may see a change in that within the next week or so, and that will allow no leaves, none of that crazy stuff to get in, because we've had quite a situation with the wind in here. All the way around, even towards the other side, you can't see because of the BRZ, but all the way over there, it is opened up. Also, on the BRZ, apparently, in order for them to send me the correct spring rates, they have to get the coilovers, because it's not just a matter of sending springs, they have to change the internals. Essentially, the way it dampens needs to be engineered differently. Okay, so the way the light's flashing, I can see it, so I'm gonna try and get it with a vacuum. Shake it and see if we can get some more trash, because apparently the more I hit it, the more kind of funnels down, so it's kind of like unsticking from the sides. I'll show you guys. We got to focus on one more little detail. It's a 30-something-year-old car. I'm not doing the math. It has a bit of a rust hole. This one has a little plug. We can plug it in. It's a screw that it just screws in. But this is a hole. I don't really want to weld this because, as you know, gas tanks carry gas, and it should have dried out by now, but I don't know that I want to risk that right this second. So we're going to do this the easy way. Since it's been rusted through a little bit, it's not going to be the thickest metal. Best course of action is not applying any more heat. Otherwise, we probably will just end up making a bigger hole. So what we're going to do is close it off with a magical thing that you all know is called JB Weld. I know, not the best thing to do, but in a perfect world, this wouldn't happen, and we'd get a fresh gas tank. We're gonna fix it with this. It's a half and half thing, so do guesstimate of how much you need. This is the one that stinks. Yeah, so this isn't a fix that is a long-term fix. This is probably going to come up again in the future, so just keep that in mind. But since we want to get some progress on this car, this is the way to do it right now. At some time, every mechanic has used a little bit of JB Weld. Whether you want to admit it or not, times like this, it really comes in handy. Alright guys, we're gonna go ahead and throw this puppy back in the car, and that's pretty much it. We're waiting for it to dry a little bit, but you know the drill. We got to get other things done. Before we get started, did a little bit of striping on the grass. Not the prettiest. Oh, and those are little egg chairs that we're going to be putting farther down that way. We're going to be making a nice little pergola. And now we're done with our grass segment of the day. First thing on today's list, so it used to not echo in here and now it echoes in here. I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah. We got pretty far yesterday. We were doing all this drywalling, and we did only this side, and half of the middle bay. We got farther back there, a couple spots, and then we were moving on this way. Unfortunately, the other guy that was helping me had to go to work, so we couldn't finish that. But it should be nice after it's done. I'll keep you guys posted on the progress of the roofing as we go about it. On today's car segment, what we will be doing is we're checking for a combustion leak in the BRZ. Unfortunately, while we've been driving, we have been noticing white smoke on the BRZ, which is not good. And if you know white smoke, usually it's a big indicator of a head gasket. According to Ant, which should be coming over later today, I figured, you know, there's no point in checking with the white smoke coming out of the rear, but he says it's still good to check just in case it's coming from somewhere else. We still have the poor thing sitting on the lift. No suspension components yet. You can see that back tire cambered out. And yeah, so it's just kind of sitting there waiting to get worked on. And now we have a head gasket leak. Using vehicle vacuum before starting engine and while engine is cold. Remove radiator cap, siphon or drain coolant level. We're already building some smoke in here. Yeah. Oh, that's coming out of one side. Confirmed. Wow. It is confirmed. Head gasket. Okay, so with that confirmed, we officially can't do much on the BRZ until we get that fixed. But yeah, for now we're gonna do some practice welding, and I don't promise you perfection, but we're gonna do our best. So my biggest obstacle is going to be having a chair. Apparently, a big thing is being comfortable. We'll see what happens. We're gonna give it a shot. It's not a good thing either to have any energy drinks or caffeine or anything like that because you get more jittery. And guess what? I had a nice tall coffee today, so first thing I'm gonna try and do is get a nice little consistent puddle without any filler, anything like that. Thanks to the fabrication series, I'm a professional now. Something like this is what I've heard is best, and I didn't know, but it's supposed to go from your right to left if you're right-handed, and if you're left-handed, left to right, so it's a more smooth transition. I think this will be a lot better than our previous experience. See what happens. That was pretty horrible, but I was definitely holding it for too long. We're gonna practice away, see what happens, take it slow, learn. This one was a lot more consistent than my previous ones. I'm gonna try to add a little filler so I can put these two together. I figured out the biggest issue I'm having is I'm working with substances that are not like pure aluminum. Apparently, if it is not pure aluminum, it takes some time for actually from the contaminants inside the aluminum and everything to get to the top and for it to actually be weldable. Before I even try to weld this thing together, I need to clean it up and make sure it's a pure piece of metal essentially, or I can go get some more at the store. But I'm too lazy to go to the store right now, so we're gonna clean it up via just heat, and hopefully that will do it. Before, these two would not come together. Like, you can see how much heat I put on it. I wish I could show you guys, but I don't have a special lens for this, so I don't think it'll pick it up. Okay, so I got way too spicy on that one. It's not what you want, but because I'm learning, I don't mind it. It shows me what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, so don't do that, but it's always a good thing to overdo it once so that you know what not to do in a sense. So now I made this huge crater. I'm gonna try and fill it in and see what happens. I added a ton of filler, but I actually sealed it, so you know, it's cool to me. Not pretty. I could probably try and even it out. I understand you wouldn't want to pay for this weld job, but for me it's a big deal because I've always done MIG, not TIG welding, and MIG is like a lot easier in my eyes just because I've done it before so many times. After further welding, we have concluded for sure that the biggest issue is impure metals. So essentially, I've been trying to weld, when it comes to aluminum, I've been trying to weld like cast aluminum, and the problem with that is they don't really put in pure aluminum due to just, you know, big companies just trying to pump out product. I actually welded it and I broke it apart because I wanted to see the durability test. And I mean, yeah, it sucks, it looks hideous, but it actually stuck together really well, but I beat it to death with a hammer. And you can tell it's just, yeah, not pretty. This came out of a handle, so you can tell it looks like good aluminum. If you don't make a weld pool and clean up the aluminum with heat, it will not fuse together with the actual welding, with a welding wire, I guess. So best way to actually weld is to begin with proper metal, not something that's like pre-made. We did a little bit of welding. I'm gonna try and find a lens so that you guys can see the welding that I'm doing as I'm doing it, because today it felt a lot more smooth. Biggest issue is though, I need to get a stool or something, get comfortable while I'm welding. It is actually a little tall for me, so I'm gonna see if I actually have to make welding table legs on it. If you notice, it's still the rack. It's this rack here that the other half of this one, it's supposed to be stacked up, and I just cut it in half and put this over the top. It's been working, but now that we want to get a little bit more professional, a better height, and I'm short, we're gonna need to do something here. So this is coming soon. So in the next one, we will be having a little more of everything going on. Hopefully this thing gets put together. Hopefully these get finished up. And hopefully we get the welding table some proper leg. Oh, and the 86 also needs some brakes still. So we still need brakes on this. But it is to be continued on this one. I figured we did enough with it. And I didn't want to bore you guys to death with 86 content. So we were kind of switching it up a little bit onto the house things and stuff like that. With that being said, guys, that is everything for this one. It's all over the place, like always. That's the way I do things. I got to do all at once, because if not, nothing gets done. So I got to start it all and finish it little by little. So that's it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Stay tuned. Hopefully we can continue all the car builds and everything. So far it's been fun recording these videos for you guys. Hope you all are enjoying them. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video.